All right. Well, here's the first question: what is an outpost in Desolation of Mordor, and what's the game purpose of them?
So they're kind of similar to the outposts that you would see in the regions in the other areas of Mordor, but they're a bit more advanced. And in Mordor, they're actually controlling the supplies to the outposts and reinforcing each other.
Right.
So the order that you take them out matters.
Okay.
When you look at them, you're going to be working to get intel on these outpost leaders, and the first one that you pick is very important because afterwards the other ones are going to start getting reinforcements and getting stronger.
Right. So this is an outpost where I've taken out a couple of other outposts first, so that this one has more reinforcements. I almost said farcements, which is one of our
Reinforcements?
Yeah, it's one of our people who actually watches.
It's all the orcs that trip on themselves.
The reinforcements.
Mortally vulnerable to grabbing.
Hold on one sec. So I'm going to just pause here for a second and actually bring up an example of what happens with outposts when you begin taking them. So
yeah. So the other thing you have to keep in mind, if you look on the right side, you can see the bonuses that you'll get for taking over the outpost.
Right.
When you take it over, you can get one of these 3 bonuses based on how powerful a human mercenary you put in its place.
Right. So here on this outpost, we put in Nura the Favored Son, and so I'm getting hired mercenaries deal 25% more damage.
Actually, you're getting Baranor deals 25% more damage.
Baron. No, wait, no. Is it? Oh, because he's epic. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So if he's epic, it gives it to Baranor. If it's legendary, it gives it to everybody. So if we scoot over here, we can see that this one reduces some bodyguard cooldown, reduces it further and further, and that's if I put this guy, who's currently a bodyguard of mine, here.
Right. Or you could move Nura the Favored Son over to the other one to get that bonus instead.
Right.
So that's another part of your decision about which fort to take over. It may have a hard guy, but you might want that bonus early. Outpost, yes.
Outpost, yeah. There is clearly a fortress, but...
Fortress is a little bit stronger.
A little bit stronger, yeah. So, reinforcements, hell yeah. So, anyway, this, right now, we're going after this guy, and so we're taking this outpost, and you need to take out all the outposts in order to be able to do the final fortress assault.
Yeah, that, like, chokes off supplies, it gets everything ready. You're not the Bright Lord, you don't have a whole army of orcs. You have to convince the humans that it's worth their while.
Right, and so during this process, you're actually making coin, and then you're taking and hiring these guys into these positions, and these are actually the positions of your assault force. So these are the guys that you'll be taking. So Nura the Favored Son would join us. If a Braze Ghoul Talker is here, then he will also be joining us.
Yeah, they're like your assault leaders.
Right.
During the mission.
So we're going to take out Pushkrimp, the Choker, and we're going to assign someone to this once I get some more coin. You guys can see up in the very far left, top left, in the little area right under Lithlad, Marauder Citadel has the 2,110 coin there. So, let's see. I'm checking the questions right now. Shadow Doggles Bruise DLC put in normal games, they're full damage now. So I see we have a lot of new people to the chat hanging out. For those of you guys who are curious about how the game plays, and if you haven't been watching our last streams, you'll see it all just now because we're going to start fighting. And for those of you in chat who know the answers to that, feel free to put in the answers for them. Say, yes, you can survive a large fall. No, Bruise is not in here, or whatever that goes things. So, let's see.
Well, I think Bruce doesn't want this fort.
I don't want the fort. So, with this, now let's go ahead and show off the mechanics of taking this area. So you guys can see, 1 second, I'm being made friends with by this guy over here. So you can see that there is a captain, and that there is a captain, and that there is a captain. You can see up in the top 3 that I have defeat the 3 outpost leaders, and also capture the victory point. So similar to how one would capture individual segments of a fortress, we've now applied that to the outpost experience. Oh god, no, bad house. Also, here's an ability we haven't shown you guys yet. You guys see how he has smoke screen? If you're in the smoke screen, you can actually start doing stealth attacks in the middle of the smoke screen.
It's brutal.
It's a good one. It's kind of like how when you are...
He's the dwarf eater. Do you think he got like one of Torfin's toes?
Potentially. He liked the taste.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Let me put on some of the augments that I've picked up. You guys should recognize various augments. I actually got Ballast, which I thought was pretty cool. Got a couple epics in here. So, these augments, as a reminder, when you die, they go away. And we're going to die today.
Probably.
Yeah, that's actually the plan, because we want to teach you guys how to do stuff involving death and show you what it looks like when you die.
Yeah.
We'll first take out this outpost before we do that.
Yeah.
Papa Kolumsky asked to be noticed, so you've been noticed. All right, so I've killed one. You want to get the next one, just so that I can catch some of the questions too.
Oh, Jared, you're backwards control.
Oh, you need to switch it back?
No, I will play at a handicap.
Oh man, so Brett plays inverse. I play regular when you're looking around with the everything. Blame it on the inverse. Oh no, you did a brutalize. Never mind. So that was the plan.
Yeah, I got all the little guys to get away.
Yes, Senpai is noticing us. So you have smokescreen available again if you want to pull that.
I might, and it'll totally help finish this guy. He's nice and low level.
Nice.
Oh, what a jump.
Smokescreen is actually really good. Like
Really good.
It's-
And it's something where you can start picking up those augments with your dagger so that your base dagger does more and more damage.
Oh yeah.
And he dropped an augment that gets me more defense.
Mm-hmm.
Baranor doesn't gain health like the Bright Lord does. He gets more and more defense. So you start to become really tanky after a while.
Right. So for those people asking questions about can you use the shield, can you use those things, well, you guys will actually get to see those things happen. We've actually been showing them off in all the previous streams. So don't worry about it. You'll get to see us using the shield in action, i.e. there you go. You can block with it too. What up, Man of Steel?
Yeah, we'll just, not from behind.
Not from behind. So when you start taking the area, you start seeing more of the human mercenaries showing up to help you fight. You might need to heal in a second. So we're playing on easy mode right now because we want to win for the moment. It's death that becomes significantly more frightening and likely when you increase the difficulties. Anime person's asking for me to have a ring of power. If I did that, I would rule the world, and that's just not a good thing. Pug Life is asking you to die. Not yet. We first want to show you guys what the beating of this looks like. What are you doing climbing like a pleb? There you go.
Yeah. He knows how to get out.
Oh, you're gonna do the float down attack?
So you can do stealth kills from midair.
So this is another fantastic feature. Actually, one of the augments we picked up before was increased damage from doing stealth kills.
And I can actually just fly up if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
We also have longer slowdown time while in midair.
We do. So I picked up an augment, guys. So this is something that was specific to my run that I happened to find. An augment that really increases the length of slow time when you're using your parachute.
From the wings.
Hey.
Got his arrow sticking out of him.
Oh, you don't have a chance. You have to pause or something.
I'm good.
Let's see. Are we gonna have special interactions with our Mercenaries? With the mercenaries? I mean, they can save you. You will hear them talking to you in the same way that you'll hear other orcs talking to you when you're walking around. You can send them on missions and you can join them. In fact, we showed a lot of that last stream. If you want to have a really in-depth mercenary discussion, go check out the last one. It's called Mercenaries. So outposts are like mini forts. I guess that's one way to look at it. It's I mean, they get stronger the more you take, and they also give you strategic benefits to help you take other outposts. So they're a little different that way. You can capture this point now.
I can.
You not wish to?
I'm kind of drawing him in.
Do you not like capturing the point before you need to?
It's pretty handy. It makes him run away.
Yeah. It also nice. Also, in my experience, brings more mercenaries in.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I'll appease you, Jared.
Thank you. I feel appeased.
Hey guys.
Can you lose any outposts after taking it, not just by dying? Yes, actually. We'll point that out in just a second. But depending on how long it takes Brett to kill everybody.
I'm getting more arrows.
Yeah, I know, that's fair. Then I can walk through it a little bit, but it's similar. People keep asking for the skill tree. Maybe. I haven't quite decided on that one. Part of me feels like I'd rather you guys experience it in context of the game, so that you...
Standard photo mode.
So that you understand more about how we designed the experience. Because some of your abilities you get will last in between your playthroughs, and some of them will reset. The Arkham Knight hero wants the get over here move it ability. No, I think I'll let you guys get excited about that.
I noticed you've disabled it.
I have, actually, yes. I on purpose. Actually, that was one of the reasons why I had to do a bunch of the extra outpost hunting today, because I wanted to hide stuff.
My buddy.
Your buddy's down. Nice. So remember, this is on easy mode. And the reason why I want to remind you guys of this is because Desolation of Mordor is meant to be a bit tougher. If you play it on the mode that you found yourself to be most comfortable playing, or most fun on Shadow of War main game, you'll probably die once or twice before you're able to actually get all the way to the end. And then after that, there's a bunch more additions to how you can play the game, which we'll show once Brett kills some people.
Well, I need to clear some space is what I need.
Yeah, you're trying to save your guy.
I kind of am. Not going too well.
Did we show off death yet? No.
Death of your friends.
Death of your friends have been shown.
Oh, poor friends.
Yeah. So will Gravewalker be downright impossible? Gosh, it is not downright impossible. Are you showing off death now?
Yeah. But I have the last two.
Let's see.
Nope, he's done. Sorry, buddy.
It's okay. We're gonna die after we complete this mission anyway.
He's giving up on my friend.
Goodbye, friend. Press F for Abrase the Ghoul Talker. Okay, F is our respect for him.
Ghouls will not help you here, buddy.
Use bombs. He used them up.
I did use up my bombs, and I could go.
You do have some quick shots left in
looking
them.
for more bombs. I do, but I'm getting. What I want to do is get out of the
So what's the max level in Dom? Well, it's not exactly how that works. Because as a player, if you wanted to, you could actually just play Desolation of Mordor and get as many augments as you can and just continue growing to a certain point. And I'm not exactly sure what that point is. You would know.
It is really high.
It's really high.
You get really strong, but you have to keep in mind that the outposts are getting strong at the same time.
Right.
And a fair amount. There are a lot of unique powers. I think there are 75.
75 unique powers to this.
Well, 75 gear upgrades,
Gear upgrades.
I should say.
Yeah,
Plus,
yeah.
he's got all the skills. So the idea is that you're getting a different
You gotta
collection
shoot
of
him.
abilities every time.
Alright, we've actually shown those augments off a couple.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a lot of damage.
He is really scary.
Yeah.
He's level 45 and epic, and I think he has like extra damage or something. I'm running on the
You
focus.
got to do quick shots, man.
I could.
Oh, come now. You got this. Yay!
I had to like shield slide through him.
Whew. That was a fight.
What a jerk.
I may take this back. Thank you, good man. Well done, Brett.
I do know what I'm doing.
Alright, so here's some level ups. Get some experience. We got some coin. We've taken another outpost. Oh, look, that turns to blue. Available for assigning a mercenary. Let's hire someone to put someone there. Poor guy.
We will remember him for at least some time.
At least a little bit.
At least a bit.
Whenever I play, I end up getting one mercenary as my bodyguard, taking him for the entire game,
Yeah.
and then just filling this with a bunch of stranger mercenaries.
Well, just like the orcs, you can take them on power struggles.
Right.
They get stronger over time, and they get much stronger. By default, a human mercenary is a bit weaker than an orc, but as you start getting them these bonuses, when you get upgrades yourself that level them up, they start to be able to go like toe-to-toe with the orcs.
Right, and they're very powerful. So it's really fun to be playing.
Purple and gold.
He is a fun one, eh? He's a University of Washington player.
He is the magnificent.
So, as we move Killick over, you'll be able to see that, as we mentioned, these guys will grow in strength. Unfortunately, we had one die, but then they get stronger and stronger. And then they also have these bonuses. Like, this guy is giving us the hired mercenaries do 25% more damage. This guy's getting us that summon bodyguard is super fast. Now, a question was, can you lose an outpost? Yes, if you are missing any mercenary guarding the outpost for 3 turns. So that would be, a turn would pass if you're like doing a power struggle or taking an outpost. Those would be a turn, then you'll lose that spot. So you need to be intelligent with how you're spending money and moving guys around.
And it's kind of a question of, are you saving up money to hire a legendary mercenary?
Right.
Are you okay with like leaving it vulnerable for a while, or do you need that right now? You need to buy a cheaper mercenary and like get on with it.
Right. So you can scoot them around as needed too, if you're in a situation. So we've shown you guys a little bit about the fighting. You've seen that in many of the streams, and I think it's now time to die.
How do you do this to Baranor?
This will send a message to Shindra.
Let's see. Just going for a run. Just gonna pick up this epic piece real quick, but I'm not gonna grab it. You just get to read what it says and know that that's something cool.
I'm trying to remember what that one is.
I found your legendary lead from behind one.
Man,
I hate it. All right, so we're gonna just let Baranor take a couple shots to the face. Actually, real quick, just to speed this up, and also because it'll be a wonderful transition to our later discussion, let's pop this to brutal. We'll walk and talk through it in a second, but let me just show the damage for it. There we go. One hit from a normal guy, and down.
Well, that was a spot of
it's
luck.
happy.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Just a roll of the dice.
Well, at least your death made that guy real happy.
At least.
Just
So, just as a heads up, this particular build that we're using right now is not the final build. The final build is actually done in that. This is just a different build that I've been using specifically for the live streams. And so I got this earlier and that kind of thing. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because things like the score that we're about to get right here, and we'll talk through, isn't exactly the scores that you guys will be receiving. So here's an explanation on when you die as Baranor.
Yep.
All right. So we got a couple of things here. We got a score. The experience gained gave a score. Outpost gave a score. The difficulty that we had, now it says minimal difficulties, because different difficulties will give you multipliers. And then runtime is also important, and that you can see like the shorter your runtime, the better your score will be.
So basically, the farther you get in the game by capturing more outposts, the higher your score is just naturally going to be.
Right.
The more stuff you do, the higher it's going to be, but that's always measured against how hard it was and how fast you went.
Right.
So like that's the real axis where you can keep improving. Like once you're like, yeah, I can beat it on Gravewalker, no problem. It's like, can you do it faster?
Right, and so you get
stuff.
faster and faster at it. So now we didn't finish the game. All right. So I saw someone say that's it. We just died. And we have to start over. There are story missions. There's more outpost missions. There's taking over the fortress assault. So to complete the game, you have to beat all of those. But if you die, then you start over at the beginning. But certain things will be living for a certain amount of time. Alive for 25 minutes, shame. Well, I had to run quick. But so what are these victory milestone unlocks? What are these referring to? You don't have to say all of them either.
When you beat the game, based on your score, you get a permanent upgrade.
Right.
So that will be a piece of gear that you carry with you into every new game from that point forward. So, I expect most people can get silver. Gold is a little bit harder. Mithril's the really hard one to get.
Right.
But they're things that kind of change the way you play the game. Some of them make it a little bit easier, but some of them are just, I want to play the game differently now.
Right. Okay. So some of them are little twists and changes of stuff. Glacier 005. So we lose story mission progress. No, story missions actually maintain through every run. So the things that maintain through every run, story missions. So you don't have to replay story. And the augments, the Torvin skill upgrades, and actually Circa skill upgrades that you see up there, those are the story missions. Each time you play one of those, you'll get an unlock. So those permanent progression rewards. Cool, just checking. And you can also see that we have starting coin.
Yeah. Based on how well you did, you get money to begin your next run.
Right.
So if you did really well, you'll have enough to hire maybe an epic guy, maybe a legendary guy if you did a really, really good job.
Right.
But generally you can hire like a common dude to start out with.
Which is really useful because in the idea of like this one, I died pretty early on.
Yeah.
There's definitely significantly more. As you guys can see, I had 7 more Torvin unlocks that I had to find. I had to complete more Circa missions, and then there was also more outpost stuff.
Well, and that's part of like, okay, you died. You can take a different tack next time. You're like,
Right.
okay, instead of going for the outpost, maybe I'll go dig up some of the Torvin skills.
Right.
Get more skills for next time, so I'll be like better suited for it.
Absolutely. And so if you guys are on Gravewalker, get the Torvin skills. All of them. Just do it. They're so helpful. And it's so hard. It's just, oh man.
Well, it's that is specifically balanced for once you have all the skills.
Right. So
Like-
Gravewalker is what you get try to beat.
No, I'm fine with people going for that right away. If they want.
I'm not.